In this video, I'll be covering why you may be feeling unmotivated and how to get back on track. Hey, what's up? I'm Mark Bellini, and I'm all about achieving financial independence through real estate investing and online business. So if you're new to the channel and you're looking to achieve financial freedom for yourself, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button down below. It really helps me out, and I'll be sure to keep cranking out these videos. So if you're trying to improve your life and you're considering furthering your education or maybe starting a business or making some investments, but you're just not really feeling the motivation to get started, I kind of want to cover a couple different things here that can help you push past that and actually get started. So the first one I want to talk about here is finding your why. And I actually did a whole video on this, and I'll put a link in the description below if you want to hear more about it. But basically what it means is you need to find your core motivation in life. And a quick example of this would be like, let's say you really enjoy time with family and friends and you wish you could spend more time with them. And you basically want to achieve financial freedom so you can do that, spend more time with your family and friends. So you are motivated to find ways to become financially free so you can spend more time with family and friends. And you're going to reach points in your journey that are going to be very difficult. And having that core motivation is going to help you push past that discomfort and keep going, because that's your goal in life. You want to achieve, your why, what you're really shooting for, and that's going to help you stay motivated. So that's a big one. And if you're not sure what your why is, I would basically think about what puts you in a state of flow. So what I mean by that is things that, you're doing them and you kind of lose track of time. And if someone paid you to do it, you'd be shocked if someone paid you to do it because you just enjoy it so much. It's not really work to you. It's just something that you really enjoy. So that's, consider that when you're trying to figure out what your why is. But basically, you just need to find out what that core motivation is to keep you motivated for the long run. The second one here I want to talk about, and this is very common in kind of today's society. And I'm going to call this like a dopamine benchmark is what I'll call it. So today we have all these distractions, all this noise out there, and it's television, it's video games, it's social media. And what that does is it sets a inflated level of dopamine in your body. And dopamine is basically a chemical, like a feel-good chemical. And your body basically craves it constantly. And so it's seeking out, where to find the highest level of dopamine so you can feel, seek pleasure, avoid pain, basically. And these video games and the TV shows, and especially social media, is designed to hook you. It's designed to, pull you in and keep you there for a long period of time. And they do that through, little notifications, little sounds, fresh content all the time. And so what it does is like you stop using the application or the social media app, and you're thinking about it. It's like, oh, did I get a new message? Did I get a like? Or, did I get this or that? And that's going to pull you back into the application and start using it some more. So you kind of get that hit of dopamine, and your brain's used to that. And so you kind of have this inflated level that your mind expects. And when you need to get things done, let's say you need to write a paper, or you need to write a blog post, or you need to learn something new, or anything like that, it's not going to be probably not quite as pleasurable. It's going to be down here a little bit. And so you're not going to look at it as something that you really want to do. You're going to be like, oh, I don't really want to do that. I'd rather sit on the couch and watch Netflix or play video games or something like that, because it's easier. It's an easy dopamine spike. Basically, it's really simple and easy, and you don't have to do anything, and it just, it's easy. And that's where the problems kind of start. And what makes this worse is if you, start drinking or use drugs, that's even higher. Inflates your dopamine levels even higher. It's kind of an unnatural state of dopamine. And what the problem is you're going to feel really good, and then the next day or so you're going to really crash. It's kind of like an inverse scenario. You're going to feel really good, and the next day you're going to feel really bad. And the problem with this is your brain wants a higher level of dopamine. So, even video games or something like that might not even be as pleasurable anymore. because you just want to reach that high of using the drugs and alcohol because that's the new inflated level that your mind wants. Your mind is seeking that next high, basically like a drug addict. And, basically what happens is you don't get anything done because you're just seeking pleasure all the time. And that's the question you want to ask yourself whenever you're doing something is like, okay, with this activity, am I seeking pleasure or am I seeking fulfillment? And by fulfillment, I mean like, are you actually doing an activity and feeling fulfilled by doing it? Like you're reaching some goal that you've set for yourself, or you're just kind of trying to feel better momentarily. So that's something to think about. So if you believe that you're kind of in an inflated state of dopamine, what I would suggest is a dopamine detox. And what you're going to have to do is be disciplined and kind of cut back on, watching television or playing video games or using social media, and definitely drugs and alcohol. You're going to have to cut back. And really, it's going to be painful because you're used to this inflated level of dopamine. It's going to crash. You're going to feel crappy. You're going to feel unmotivated and just depressed probably. And you just kind of have to ride it out a little bit and kind of get your brain used to kind of like the normal of what it should be. And to get through this, I would recommend things that are kind of healthy, sources of dopamine. And so I would say exercise. Exercise releases endorphins, so that's going to make you feel better. And then what you can do is start creating like a checklist of things you want to do that would be more fulfilling. And when you do them, you can actually check them off. The act of actually checking things off a checklist releases a little hit of dopamine. And so those are much healthier sources of dopamine. And that's basically what you want to do is, check yourself and see if your dopamine levels are inflated, get them in check, and then start doing what you need to do to have a more fulfilling life. And so that's the best advice I have as far as getting on track and staying motivated is find your why, find your core motivation, and make sure not to overindulge on things that can spike your dopamine levels too high. So if you like this content, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.